Welcome to the Dark Storytime podcast. This is our very first episode. We are an interview-style paranormal podcast, and today we have our first guest. How are you, and can you introduce yourself?
I'm Mariana, and I'm good.
Okay. So, Mariana is going to tell us some of her experiences that she's had. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind that these are all real experiences that happen in real time. So, the explanations and there might be some an intense emotion during some of these explanations. So I'd like for you guys to keep that in mind as she tells some of her experiences. Now, the first thing I want to ask is, right off the back, do you believe in the paranormal?
Well, as of now, absolutely. Was I a skeptic in the beginning? Yes. So, I mean, as many young teenage females go, like, you've got your slumber parties, you've got your girlfriends that come over, and you just hang out, you pull out a Ouija board, or you do light as a feather, stiff as a board. You do all of the things because you think that there's just this young inner witch inside of you. But do you really believe in it? Do you really think that something could happen, or that your friend isn't the one moving? So it's, in the beginning, it was just like, you believed it, but you didn't really believe it, if that makes sense.
No, it makes plenty of sense. You never know when somebody's, just fucking with you or trying to get you to get a jump scare.
Pretty much.
So you would say, yes, you absolutely believe in the paranormal?
Now I do, absolutely.
All right. And you've had a few experiences.
Many experiences.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give you the mic. I'm going to give you the floor. And I'm going to give you as much time as you need to take us into an in-depth explanation of some of these experiences. Now, try to give us as much detail as you can. If there are areas where you're lacking, it's fine. These are experiences that have happened over the course of years. So I get that you don't remember every little thing. But, just do your best, what you can remember. And I will leave it up to you how many of these experiences you would like to share.
So there's one. Do you want to hear what made me no longer be a skeptic?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, like I said previously, there was lots of light as a feather, stiff as a board, and Ouija board nights, right, where you're drinking Surge and you're trying to stay up all freaking night. But the one story that made me fully believe in the paranormal, and I'm talking like malevolent force, not even just, oh, I think I saw a ghost, or oh, the lights are flickering. Yeah. So I have these two best friends, and we've literally been best friends since early elementary school, and we're still best of friends 30 years later, totally aging myself. We had our sleepover, we did our weird stuff at night, but it wasn't until the morning that I honestly can't remember which of the three of us thought it would be a brilliant idea to play Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary, the classic.
Yes. So we're at my parents' home. Now, setting the scene, my parents, they have a 2-story house, but there's like full finished basement. We would sleep in the basement for like sleepovers and stuff, but then we would get up, go into my bedroom, which was on the second floor, and there was a bathroom up there. So as we're getting like our bathing suits on and our cover-ups on just for the day, we decide that we're all in the bathroom. Like I said, I can't remember whose decision it actually was or whose idea it was, but let's turn off the lights and let's play Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
So, turn off the lights. You look in the mirror. The curtains are closed, so there's like no light coming in. You can kind of see the sunshine coming through the curtain, just a very little bit. We light a candle.
Oh, so you lit a candle.
We lit a candle.
See, I've never heard of that version.
I don't know if that's even a thing.
Well, clearly it is.
But you got to think, like, I'm talking about, this is the era of when Spice Girls just came out. So this is, we were young,
You
and
lit
stupid.
candles for everything.
Pretty
Gotcha.
much. I'm pretty sure there's like a wax spot in my parents' basement rug from us lighting candles and doing seances. But I digress. So we decide to start saying Bloody Mary all together. And when it comes to saying it the third time, now, if you don't know, you're supposed to say Bloody Mary in the mirror 3 times in the dark. You know, there's different stories of it. She appears in the mirror or something weird happens.
Quick disclaimer, we are not telling you to go try this at home.
Yeah, definitely don't. So I'm the dumbass. That was the only one who said it the third time. So I'm like freaking out. I don't want to say that I saw her in the mirror, but like, you know, your mind starts playing tricks on you and you're like, what is that exactly am I seeing? So something spooked me, for sure. I was definitely spooked. My friends thought it was hilarious. I flick on the lights. I curse them out and I'm like, yeah, I'm so not doing this. That's so not cool. You didn't say it with me. And we kind of went on about our morning. Like, you know, you brush your teeth, you get dressed. Like I said, we were putting our bathing suits on. It was summertime. We go downstairs. We have something to eat. And now we decide to go outside. So fast forward a little bit. And my parents have an above ground pool, but there's a huge deck that goes around it. So me and my 2 girlfriends are standing at the deep end. And we're like at the edge of the pool. We're about to jump in because my parents' pool was freezing. It was always freezing. And there's only one way to get into that pool. Yeah. You just got to jump. So, you know, we decide we're going to count to 3 and we're all going to jump in. Well, these bitches, mind you, I still love them. We count to 3 and I'm the only stupid one that jumps in. Like, I can see them at the edge of the pool. I'm looking at them and I can tell that they're just like cracking up at me. This is where shit went really dark. I am alone in the pool. And what I could describe as someone grabbing my leg. Yeah. And just like slashing me as if they just like cut me with a knife. And I came out of the water screaming. I was in pain, but I was more fearful. Yeah. I was scared shitless, let's be honest. Yeah. Like, you're jumping in a pool. There's nothing in the fucking pool. So I like make it to the surface and they were like, oh my God, are you okay? Sorry. They thought I was yelling because they tricked me. Yeah. And I jumped in the pool by myself and it was freezing. But then they were like, oh my God, are you okay? And it took me a second to like realize what they were talking about. But there on my left leg, from like above my knee to the outer thigh, there's 3 what I could describe as claw marks. And like I said, there was nothing in the pool. Wow. There was nothing in the pool. Nothing could have scratched me. Yeah. It wasn't somebody's like toenails or whatever. Like, it, no explanation for it.
So do you think that the Bloody Mary ritual that you performed followed you into the pool?
So I definitely think that something at that time kind of like clung on to me. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I definitely didn't feel good for the rest of the day. Like,
so you felt like sick, or you just felt drained?
No, drained. I didn't feel sick. I was just drained and really like unsettled.
Well, yeah, I could imagine.
Just really unsettled.
What did you guys do after that? Did you guys just go on about your day, or?
So we went on about our day because they continued. Like, they were like, oh, I honestly, I don't really remember what we brushed it off to be. That I kind of, but I was like in a daze for the rest of the day. I was just out of it because I was trying to logically think of an explanation, but there was no logical explanation for that.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
Well, as far as first experiences go, it's pretty intense. Physical manifestations are the scariest because we live in this bubble where we think ghosts can't actually physically harm us or touch us. They just scare us or make us feel weird. So when you come into contact with something that has the ability to leave a physical mark, it kind of changes the game for you. Now, after that experience, I'm assuming that's what pretty much opened your eyes. Did things get more, I don't know how to say it, like paranormally for you? I know that some people will go for so long without believing, they'll have an experience, and then after that one experience, all of a sudden they're drawn, like more experiences happen to them, kind of like the energy is drawn to them.
So the best way to explain this is, have you ever gone looking at a car at a dealership?
Yes.
And like, you're like, wow, I've never seen this car in this model, in this color before. And then you decide to purchase it, or not even purchase it, but all of a sudden, everywhere you go, every parking lot, you see that car. You see that make, you see that model, you see that color. Literally, that's just what I went through with my newest car. That's how it was. Like, my eyes were more open to it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because now...
So now you can recognize it.
I could recognize... I started questioning things that maybe I hadn't questioned before. Feelings, smells. Like when you... Just out of nowhere, you get like a strong woof of something.
Yeah.
Like, well, where did that come from? There's not perfume around me. I'm like... Or... There's no sulfur around me. There's no, like, just random things you start noticing a lot more.
Yeah. Now, after you had that experience, how long before you had another experience, or before you had something else strange or weird happen to you that just made you stop and go, okay, what the hell?
Well, I want to say it's within the same year.
Oh, so you had back-to-back experiences.
Yeah, but just the things that, like, really, like, pop out for me. Was playing Ouija.
Oof. It's a big no-no for me.
It's a big no-no for me now. Like I said, time and time before that, it was never anything. I actually recall, like, looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, that was so not serious. It was silly, but a huge girl sleepover. Yeah. I guess we channeled. Is that even?
Absolutely.
So we channeled into a kid, like a boy.
Really?
Who wanted a piggyback ride. Now, do I think that was real? No, but I recall seeing one of my friends galloping around my parents' pool table, like.
So do you think that could have been just one of your friends?
I think it was. Like, okay. I think that was like complete bullshit, right?
All right.
Like I said, it was a different time where it was just like The Craft came out and everyone thought they were a witch, and
absolutely. But what happened? Like, when did it take a turn and you realized, holy shit, this is not a joke?
So there was a very specific detail that happened actually in my cousin's life that only her and I knew about.
Now, you can keep your cousin anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
You can change names. You can change, like, you know, details of the story that would otherwise point to her.
Yeah. I'm really bad with names, so we'll just say my cousin.
That's fine.
So there was something that my cousin had gone through that, let's say some paraphernalia that she had come across, and that she had disposed of illegally. And the only person that actually knew about it was me.
Mm-hmm.
So her and I were sitting on the steps in my parents' basement.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two ways to get down into my parents' basement.
Yeah.
Both from inside the house, but they had one set of steps that was like very open
Yeah.
to the downstairs. So if you're sitting on the steps, you can still see everything that's going on downstairs. And I don't know, there was like 3 or 4 other girls that I had gone to school with that was playing the Ouija.
Okay.
And they had like spelled out my cousin's name.
Oh, wow.
And my cousin was like, yeah, really funny, guys. Like, okay, you're trying to get to me. But then the next thing that they said, like the next thing that it spelled out was the location of the quote unquote dump site.
Of the paraphernalia.
Yeah.
Okay.
And her and I just looked at each other and we were like, what the hell? At first she thought that I had told my friends about it. So there was like a huge like trust issue. But so the only person that knew without a question that holy shit, this is real was me.
Absolutely.
Because my cousin was a skeptic and she was like, absolutely not. Like, why would you tell them?
Yeah.
And it was like a huge, huge secret in our lives that literally would take to the grave. And it's being spelt out on a Hasbro Ouija board.
Yeah.
Like that you buy at Toys R Us.
Oh, yeah. The horrible idea to market a spirit summoning board as a toy for children. How could I ever forget?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty intense. And I take it that your cousin was pretty, shocked by this?
Extremely. Extremely. But also because of her reaction to it, we had to have like a really awkward conversation with the group of friends. And
oh, wow.
because at this moment now they're like, oh,
what's going on?
What? Explain.
Yeah.
So we did, and it was just weird. But like now, that's 2 things that I'm thinking are just like silly ghost story tales.
Yeah.
That have become reality.
Gotcha.
Those are like the 2 from my childhood that really, really stick out. It wasn't until I became an adult, living on my own, that things started taking more of a ghost-like paranormal turn.
Yeah.
Where it's no games, just activity. That makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And was it a place you lived that triggered this? Was it a situation?
A situation, for sure. I had, and I'm pretty sure I know who it was too. For a while, I believe that my late grandfather was kind of watching over me.
Yes.
I was in an abusive relationship, and verbally abusive, just all of the abuse.
Gotcha.
And when shit would get bad between me and my ex, I would notice things like a huge waft of roses would pass by my nose. My grandfather loved roses. He planted a bunch of rose bushes in my mom's like property, and he was buried with rosewood rosary beads. So like whenever I would smell it, I would always be like, hola, no. He's Argentine. So I believe that it was just like him being aggravated that this was happening to his grandkid.
Yeah. Kind of just letting you know he's there.
Yeah. But I was the only one that ever noticed it. my one light would constantly flicker, and I kept thinking that it was like shoddy wiring, but then it was just like the coincidence of when that was happening. Every single time shit got bad, all of a sudden the light's going and I smell roses. Like, coincidence? I'm not sure. But it wasn't until shit got really bad and my apartment unfortunately got trashed. I had to pay a little visit to the hospital. But when I came back, my eldest brother and my mom came to help me kind of get my apartment back in order.
Yeah.
And I remember it was 3:00 in the frickin' morning. I called my boss to let him know that I wasn't going to be into work the next day. I just wanted to leave him a voice message, but he actually picked up. And I was like, I'll explain more later, whatever. And my eldest brother is sitting right next to me on my couch, and he looks up, and I see it, which I had seen it previously, but just a very, it was as if a cloud, not an actual figure, but like a cloud just kind of moves past you.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. I was very used to seeing those at that time.
Yeah.
But my eldest brother saw it. And he was like, what the hell was that? I'm like, wait, you saw that? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's Nono.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah. He doesn't really come out that often.
Huh.
But
he's here.
But when he does, yeah.
How did your brother react to that?
He was like...
Freaked out?
What the hell? Yeah. Yeah, because I'm more than positive, like, the men in my family are all skeptics, even when they see things that are off.
It's a natural human reaction that when you see something that your brain can't really process, it's kind of gets filed away as, oh, well, that's probably nothing. I mean, we're all guilty of it. And I think one of the biggest things is that, like you mentioned earlier, about when you had a paranormal experience and then it was like it opened your eyes to it. I think what that was is it was just the realization that you've probably seen a ton of weird, unexplainable shit, but then you don't really pay attention to it. But then when you have such a severe experience, it opens up your eyes to the thought of, well, what have I been overlooking in the past? And then you start thinking back to different things that you've heard, you have seen, and you're just like, wow, now that I think about it, there were a few times where there were some situations that didn't quite add up. So, yeah, no, absolutely. And then after your encounter with your grandfather, where did we go from there as far as, that being one of the more major experiences? How did it kind of progress from there?
For a while, I kept thinking that, like, I had a monkey on my back.
And for those of you that don't know, the phrase or the term monkey on your back is referring to having a negative spirit attached to you, kind of like haunting you specifically.
Yeah, because things just started, like, I was getting a lot of bad luck, physical ailments, bad luck. I was convinced that maybe someone had, like, hexed me. And, like, fast forwarding to, God, what, like 5-6 years ago, maybe? No, maybe even a little longer. It was around the time that my eldest brother was getting married. I had 2 of my aunts who are from Argentina. Not blood aunts, but, like, parents, best friends. They become your aunties.
Yeah, absolutely.
They practice Santeria. Now, Santeria is basically like, you've got, your white witchcraft.
Yeah.
So it's more of like healing properties and getting rid of ailments, things like that.
Gotcha.
So my one aunt, I will never forget this. I was at the pizzeria. My dad owns a pizzeria, and they were like, "Come on, let's go. Let's figure this out. Let's see if it's really something attached to you." And they put like one hand on me. It started with just one of my aunts. Put a hand on me and started like reciting in Spanish. And like, you know when you get pins and needles in your body,
absolutely.
but you can't actually like pinpoint where it is. So that's kind of what I was feeling, like a frequency within my body. But then my aunt stopped, and like I looked at her, and she had like this fear in her face. And then she said that she couldn't do it alone. So she had her sister, my other aunt, also like chime in. From the second that they started, I kind of felt like just like weightless. Like the weight came off of my shoulders. And again, the skeptic in me, even with knowing and seeing so many things, I was like, absolutely. Oh, it's in my head. I always just said like, oof. It's like that placebo pill, right? But then watching my aunt afterwards, it drained her. Like her body crashed. And then she started to cry. Oh. She started to cry. Yeah. She looked at the people near me and was like, do not leave her side. She needs your strength. She needs you. You have more power around her than you know. She said that she could see who wished ill will on me, but she did not want to tell me or my mother in fear of it damaging a relationship. So that tells me it was somebody close to me.
Wow.
Things did start getting better. Things were getting better. The only things that kind of happened to me afterwards, I have a feeling it was either my deceased father-in-law or my grandmother or my grandfather, those that have passed that loved me and were close to me. Yeah. They would just make their presence known at that.
I'm assuming you've had more experiences since then. What was a experience that you had that actually scared you, that like genuinely made you afraid?
I mean, there were a few, but so I'm a mom of 3. There was one that made me scared, but just because it affected my now eldest. He was like 6 months old. I was in, oh God, that apartment was, so much stuff happened in that apartment, actually, now that I think of it. Yeah. It was myself, my cousin, and my sister-in-law. We were sitting in the living room. My baby at the time, 6 months old, is in his crib. Now, the way my living room was set up, where I was sitting, I could see directly into his room, his crib. Yeah. And you know those like Fisher-Price Scout dog dolls?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That sing, and you can do songs, you can do the ABCs, counting, colors, whatever. Yeah. Well, we have heard every single one of the
voice lines.
Yes. So I knew every single one of the voice lines. I literally would know if I heard this voice line, I could tell you what came next. Yeah. We're sitting there, the baby's sleeping. I'm having a conversation with my cousin and sister-in-law, and all of a sudden I hear this stupid doll go, "Peekaboo, I see you." But it was like, "Peekaboo, I see you." That was not one of the lines.
Really? And you've never heard it say that?
Never.
Up until that point?
Never. And I even we all froze. I ran in there. I grabbed the doll. played all of it because I was like, I'm going crazy. And it didn't replay it at all. At that moment, I grabbed my child. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Now, you're not messing with me. You're messing with my child. And that's a line I do not cross.
Absolutely.
But that apartment was freaky.
What was it about the apartment?
It had mirrors.
Had mirrors?
A lot of them.
And I'm assuming these mirrors played into some of the activity?
Oh, yeah.
In what ways?
So there was a mirror on every door, but the outside of every door, and the doors, it was a very small apartment. And the living room, there was a door for a closet, there was a door for a bathroom, then there was the door to my son's room, and then there was a door to my bedroom. And every single one, these 4 doors, very close in proximity, had mirrors on them. And those floor length mirrors. And husband worked overnights.
Okay.
I was pregnant, and this was obviously before my little one was born. But I remember laying in bed, and then I heard noise.
Yeah.
I heard noise. So I looked, my bedroom door was open, but because there were mirrors on it, that meant I could see beyond the wall.
Yeah.
Into my living room. Mm-hmm. To the side door.
Yeah.
And I saw someone in the living room. Normally, the kind of person that I am not intimidated. If somebody's in my house, I'm going down with a freaking fight.
Yeah.
I froze. I was in bed and I froze. I was terrified. The figure, it was a dark figure.
Yeah.
And I felt nothing but fear. And then I heard a car. My husband was home. So that means it was not my husband in the house. Also, I wouldn't have had that fear feeling. I was frozen. I could see the lights coming up because where the bedroom was, the driveway was right there. So the lights of the car would hit the house. He came in, turned on the light. Now I can see him. There is no one in my living room. Walks in and sees me just panicked. And I was just panicked. I was like, check the house. Someone's in the house. I just saw them. And no, nobody was in the house. Nobody was even near our property because the way that the car coming into the driveway, you would have been able to see if anybody was leaving our home.
Yeah. That's pretty freaky. That's also pretty terrifying, to be alone with a baby and to feel like someone's in your home that shouldn't be there.
I was pregnant at the time.
Oh, even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's it's pretty terrifying. Well, it's a good thing that you guys were actually safe and nothing happened to you. Now, how long were you in this specific apartment?
Oh God. I want to say just about 2 years, close to 2 years.
And you stuck it out that long.
Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty interesting. And did things get worse or just kind of leveled out?
Random things would happen. I had this wooden angel doll that would always find a way to turn itself on my fireplace mantle. Just a bunch of little random things.
Gotcha. Just little things to show that there's still some energy in the house.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Anything else happen in there that scared you other than that experience? Or was that pretty much it for, the experiences that were very terrifying?
Um, Honestly, that's all I can right now think of.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be other things that I'm like, oh, damn, that happened too.
Yeah, well,
Like
listen,
later on.
I can always have you come back. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
You know, we can always get some more of those stories.
Yeah. I will say something pretty recent that happened. And by recent, I mean like 3 years ago recent.
Yeah.
My youngest was just crawling, and I have a daycare, so I have a bunch of little ones constantly running around in my house. And most of the kids had left for the day, like it was dismissal time, and I had my youngest and a little girl who was the same age. Literally, their birthdays a week apart, and they're crawling, and I can see them. There's no one else in the house. My two oldest boys are at school. Husband's working. There's nobody else in the house. Without question in my mind, a hand grabbed me on my right hip and like spun me to like get my attention. And just as fast as it happened, I said, absolutely not. And I remember feeling silly about it, but I've learned to not feel silly about it.
Absolutely. Marking your boundaries.
Yes. And I said, you are not allowed to touch me. If you are here to bring peace and to observe, then observe quietly. You are not allowed to touch me. You are not allowed to touch anybody in this house. If you are here with ill intent, you are no longer welcome. And I've made that a point. Like,
Yeah.
I actually will talk to it. Like,
whatever it is.
Or whoever it is. And, you know, it was pretty recent after my grandmother had passed away. My father-in-law had passed away. Like I said, I can feel their presence all the time.
Yeah.
But I needed, if it was one of them, I needed them to also understand. You can be here. You are welcome, as long as you do not have ill intent, if it's really them. But you are not allowed to touch any of us.
Yeah.
Because what if that was one of my kids? They're too young to understand. Like, they would just be scared.
Yeah.
Because that's terrifying. I mean, look what happened to me when I was a young teenager. Like, okay, that was different. I played Bloody Mary and I got scratched. Like, clawed at, actually.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm very, like, open verbally now. If something is going on, I'm like, if you are here for ill will, goodbye. You are not welcome.
I really appreciate you stopping by to tell your stories. I'm going to sit down and talk with you off microphone to see if maybe we can have you come back and tell a few more stories, because I'm sure you've got more experiences.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure. Well, it was nice meeting you. And to everyone else out there, thanks for stopping by and sitting with us to go through some of these creepy experiences. If you like what you've heard, please come back again and see me. You can follow me, and you can also find me on YouTube at Dark Storytime, and you can find me on TikTok at The Midnight Spectre. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Get home safe if you're not home yet. If you are home, get under the covers, and remember to leave a light on.